So my name is Siam, and with me I have my friend Karthi.
Hey guys.
We're starting up a podcast. This is gonna be our first episode, and yeah, I guess we'll start off since nobody knows who we are. We'll introduce.
I'd like to first shout out the 100 people who watched our Black Ops video approximately 10 years ago.
From 10 years ago.
If you guys are still waiting for the next video, this is our sequel to that video.
Well, no, we're going to have a legitimate sequel. We're going to be doing gaming stuff as well, hopefully.
Gaming stuff?
Stop. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some more stuff, hopefully. And yeah, nobody's gonna ever see this. Or maybe everyone's gonna see it. Who knows?
Have you thought about it? People who are famous, right? They always talk about their friends, eventually figuring out that, oh yeah, you're famous, and that's weird. But I know you've met some meme guy at Hofstra.
Oh yeah. Wait, what meme guy at Hofstra?
I don't know. No, from the Vine. Sorry, the Vine.
That Vine guy.
Yeah.
So I have a close family friend who went to high school with this person, and oh my god, you can hear that in the mic and everything. Sorry, just ignore that. So there's that Vine. I don't know if you know it, Karthi, cause it's the Vine that it's the Vine that goes you're all I want, you're all I have, or something like that, or some shit like that, and it's this kid dancing or some shit. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing some weird stuff, and that kid apparently went to high school with my close family friend, and so then I randomly saw them at the mall, and my close family friend goes, "Oh, that's that kid from the Vine." And I'm like, "What do you mean, the kid from the Vine?" And she's like, "You know that kid who did this Vine?" And she showed me the Vine. I'm like, "Oh, wow." And it's I see them, and I'm like, okay, wait, why do I care though? But then I think about it, and I'm like, oh, that Vine has millions of views.
Right. I mean, we see a couple of popular Vine stars, what's his name? Jake Paul and Logan Paul. They made something out of themselves after Vine.
Right.
But I don't know I don't know about the guy you're talking about particularly, but did he have any other Vines?
Not that I know of. He was a complete one-hit wonder with Vine.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's a lot of Vines, right? You just see them once and you're oh, okay, that's cool.
Right.
So how do you think that affects them daily? Because Vine got really popular and it's still
and
popular.
It died, though.
It died. I mean, they're coming out with, Vine 2 or something like that? And I've been hearing that for a year.
Yeah, but I don't think that's real. I've been hearing about that for a year, too. Honestly.
But anyhow, how does that affect your daily life? How do you come back from that? It's just you have all this fame and it's just now what? You're a boring person?
Now what? You're a boring person? I don't know how that would exactly affect you. It's I feel like it's what do you call it? It's a one-hit wonder. You're there, and then after that, you're just kind of you again. You just become normal.
Somebody that I used to know.
Gautier?
Yeah. Oh my god, the legendary one-hit wonder.
Gautier was a one-hit. I mean, the thing is, Gautier still has good music and is still popular in the indie area.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pure pop, pure Billboard 100. Yeah, Gautier is still, I guess, popular in the indie area, but in the Billboard Top 100 type thing, then no, he was a complete one-hit wonder.
Right. I don't know. Would you like to be a one-hit wonder?
That's a tough question. For anybody that does not know, my main channel is actually my music stuff.
A shameless plug.
That wasn't, yes. So please check it out and add me on Twitter as well. Do I want to be a one-hit wonder? Is that what you're asking? Or would I be okay with being a one-hit wonder? I'd be okay with being a one-hit wonder just because I know that means that people have heard my music. Do I want to be one? No. I don't know if I'd prefer to be unrecognized than be a one-hit wonder, but I definitely don't want to. Mm-hmm. If I want to be something, it's just I want to be recognized in the musical community.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's fair. I mean, I think with being a one-hit wonder, personally, I wouldn't mind it because I'm a pretty lazy person, as you may know.
Yes, yes.
I don't know. Being a one-hit wonder, I'd just be like, okay, I'm done. Like I got
That's
my,
it?
I got my,
Your
I got what I
recognition?
wanted. I got
Mhm.
that recognition. I can go back to a normal life. Because I feel like, with celebrities, their lives can be difficult with people always following them.
Oh, of course.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I don't want to have that for a bit, but it seems like
You wouldn't want to have that
yeah,
for too
it's like
long.
it's like live in their shoes for a couple of days and then see what's up.
That's fair, but like at the same time, if I'm gonna live a life like that, I don't want to live it like for a few days, just because I don't know why. I don't know. There's a reasoning for it, but I can't exactly tell you why.
Okay,
As in, I don't even know the answer myself. Is what I mean by that.
that's fair. I understand that.
But yeah, I'm currently drinking flat Coke mixed with wine that I made myself, and it tastes disgusting.
This man has had this
Lord.
wine for about what is it?
Oh man.
2 months now.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, you're supposed to keep it for a while.
But it's made out of like $4 juice. I mean, I don't know, fam. I don't know, chief.
It's disgusting. I'm not saying it's good. It's nasty.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone like drink wine and not initially make that cringe face. Like they initially have that. It always
No,
hits.
not always. Not always.
Really?
Not always.
Oh, maybe
There's
it's
some
just
good smooth like that goes down well.
smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
nice.
I'm thinking about now making mead as well.
How would you go about doing that? Because I mean, I understand.
Okay. So it's the same exact process.
Mm-hmm.
You take yeast,
Mm-hmm.
take sugar.
Yeah.
Yeast eats sugar,
Yeah.
poops out alcohol and CO2.
Yeah.
So how you would do that, how you
Mhm.
would go about with that is you take water, distilled, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100%. I'm not a master brewer, so don't come at me. You take like water,
Okay.
put in a bunch of honey. That's
Mhm.
where the sugar comes from.
Right.
And then you put in the yeast.
If you have wait, hold up. If you have different sugars, does
Mm.
it change anything?
Yes, I think. I
Mhm.
don't know exactly what it does change, but
Okay.
it should, because for this it was refined sugars.
Okay.
For honey, it's going to be a completely different kind of sugar.
Right.
So and it's it is very obviously different. People say it's a different flavor and different.
No, you definitely have different things. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, how do you get different flavored wines and stuff?
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, with you talking about yeast pooping out what is it, alcohol, right? You know how our muscles are supposed to produce lactic acid, right? When we run out of oxygen. There was this guy that I read somewhere. He doesn't do that. He produces alcohol
Instead of lactic acid in
instead
his
of
body.
lactic. Yeah.
How does that work?
I mean, it's a similar process, right? You're just breaking
Right.
down glucose. It's just one step is different. I mean, yeah.
So they just found that out?
Yeah, he's drunk all the time.
No, wait. So the alcohol actually goes to like his
Yeah.
brain and is synthesized and
I
everything.
mean, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So he's perpetually. He has
Yeah.
to always. That's just how he lives.
Yes. No, I mean, I also got this. I don't remember where I got this information, but
The Onion.
you know what it is? Yeah. I think it was. Yeah.
No way.
No, I'm just fucking.
Oh
with
my
you.
god. I was gonna say, if you actually got your information from The Onion, and you were like, yeah. Give me a sec. I just gotta grab something real quick from across the room. Karthi's gonna entertain y'all with some jokes. give give him some jokes, Karthi.
All right. So, I remember a while back, this girl asked me to tell her a couple of jokes, cause I don't know, we were bored. I do not have any jokes, unfortunately. So I have corny pickup lines. And so I gave it to her, right? I gave her the corny pickup lines. So you know what? I'm gonna give you the same pickup lines that got me this girl.
Oh, you didn't even tell him that you got the girl, but...
Spoiler, I got the girl. So here we go. The first one I gave her was y'all know about help. What is that thing called? Medicaid? Nope. That's the program. The
Wait,
help.
Medicaid?
I've
Help,
fallen. something alert.
Life alert. Life alert. Life alert.
Yeah, okay. So the life
alert.
alert line. I know y'all use that like every day, right? So, what is it again?
Wait, are you assuming that like most of our audience are just like the elderly?
Literally, who else would find our channel at this point?
Besides the elderly.
That's
a good point.
Can you think of one besides you? One
Besides me.
one normal human adult that goes on a channel with 2 views.
Oh, that's a good point. I do that a lot though. I have this thing for where I look. You want to continue your? I'll let him continue his pickup lines, but I have this thing where I look for channels that are very very, what's the word?
Obscure.
Obscure. Yeah, like they're not very well known. They have very low amounts of views and subscribers, kind of like my own. And I like to and I like to watch their videos and see what it is. Like there's this one guy who does what is it? Like key stuff, like synth stuff and like organ music and whatnot, and it's actually pretty dope. And he has like less subscribers than I do, which is not, I didn't think it was possible, you know?
Wait, he really has less subscribers?
He
than
has
us?
less than I do. He has like yeah. How crazy is that?
That's wild. How does that even happen? Like that, I think that's sad. It's just like you have so much talent, and
He has so much talent. I'm gonna obviously put his. Put his thing. Should I just put it in the description?
yeah,
of
we'll
this
just
one?
put it in the description. You know,
We'll put it
give
in
the
the
man a
description.
holler.
Yeah, we'll put in the description of this one. But his, ooh, it's good. I'm gonna let Karthi finish his pickup line. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the pickup line was, "Help! I've fallen for you and I can't get up."
Oh, I've fallen for you and I can't get up. Pretty good. What is this? A glove? Oh, I actually need this. Oh, but it won't fit.
He's currently playing with a nitrile glove he has.
I
in his
have a
room.
glove and I'm using it to seal a bottle.
Oh yeah. So
it
instead of we had originally bought like water balloons or something.
Yes.
To use for the fermentation of the wine. Apparently they didn't work. What was it?
No, they worked. You just gotta stretch it over the bottle.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is a water balloon. You can't expect much from them. So he's currently using a nitrile glove.
Correct. And Karthi has glitter on his face, which
Yeah.
makes me feel like he's recently been to a strip club.
You know, when in Paris. So
What's the deal with that? Can you please
yeah, sure. So you know, it's the
Thanks.
it's the Christmas season. So down at my job, we got all these toys, and you know, all
Glittery
the-
toys?
yeah, we got glittery toys. So I was putting them in the back, and I happened to get a bit of glitter on me, right? I go outside and I have to help customers with glitter in my goddamn mustache. Okay.
Oh my god, that's the funniest thing.
The worst part is no one told me.
Of course.
Right, so they're just looking at my dumbass mustache, just like, where has this person been? Like, what
Right.
is he doing with his mouth that he got glitter on his fucking mustache? And I didn't notice until I was helping this one sweet old lady. All right, she was extremely sweet. We were talking about glasses and whatnot. I was helping her order something online. And we were talking about our prescription eyewear and whatnot, and she was being a real sweetheart about it, because you know most customers can be kind of jackasses.
Yeah,
Like
almost all of them.
like my favorite customers.
I hate them all. If you're a customer out there and you're listening to this, I hate you. If you're a consumer of
Are
products,
you a consumer in this capitalist economy?
I hate you for that.
So
Anyway, continue.
yeah. We were talking about prescription eyewear, and we were talking about like, the prescription eyewear, and she recommended me to a doctor that was working at Stony Brook, and she was just like,
people are gonna cross-reference that and figure out where we live, but okay.
um,
They probably. It's continue.
Yes. So yes, Stony
Do
Brook.
that. Find out where we live. If you don't know where we live, find out.
And please send us packages.
No, we're not opening a PO box. Continue, Karthi.
All right. So where was I at? They were
Talking about she
yeah, she
right?
was just really sweet about
Yes,
it, right?
okay.
So anyway, the reason why I thought she was sweet, I don't know why I brought up the glasses, but she asked me where I was from, and she asked me where I was from, right?
Right.
And most of the time when people ask me where I'm from, I just get kind of on guard because it's like, why do you care? And and the customer I had right before me was being kind of a dick, so I was just on guard.
Okay, right. That makes sense.
I mean, I won't say what he said, but
Okay.
I don't know. He was being a dick. Anyway, so we were talking, and she asked me where I was from, and I'm like, India. And she's like, oh, my adopted daughter's from India. And I'm like,
That's pretty awesome.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And she was just telling me about her daughter and how she went to, I think it was Harvard, got like some degree there, went on, got another degree somewhere else at Yale, I think. And she was like, so where do you go? And I'm like,
Stony Brook.
Stony Brook. And it's just like, damn. Well, anyway, she was just being really nice. Anyway, why did I bring this? Oh,
Because
glitter.
of the stupid glitter, dude.
Alright, so the
Good
glitter. Okay,
God.
the glitter. While
I'm
we
getting
were
too
talking,
close to the mic. I need to move.
we were getting, we were just talking, and out of nowhere, she's just like, I hope you know that you have glitter in your mustache. And up to this point, it had been 30 minutes.
You know what she thought, right?
She was just like, I don't know where you'd been, but you have glitter.
You've been to a strip club. This
she's
kid.
like, I'm not going to assume anything about you, but you got glitter in your mustache, and you're putting out messages that you may not want.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think I've ever been so self-conscious because I couldn't get out and go to the
Because now,
bathroom.
exactly, you know what people have been thinking about you, too.
Not that part. I didn't care so much about that.
Oh.
It's just I couldn't get the damn glitter out of my mustache.
Why
so
not?
I was
You can
still
just wipe it out?
I went like that, and it was it's still on, right?
No, it's not there. It's like by right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's nasty. I hate glitter. By the way,
Why?
it gets everywhere.
Oh,
It's literally it's just
shit,
that
you
it
ain't-
gets it.
You're not getting that shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever
It's just
again.
like you know when you go to the beach and
Oh,
you just get
you're getting sand
oh
everywhere.
my god!
my dude.
I know
You're
one
not
of the
getting
beach.
sand out of
The beach is a
anywhere.
horrible place, by the way.
Please elaborate.
Y'all ever read Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Oh my god, we're going back to these days? That was
Yeah.
like
Yo,
2000.
I used to think Diary of a Wimpy Kid was a bad book. Like I couldn't read it, and it would be bad for me if I read it, like a moral thing. I don't know if you knew this, but
Wait, slow. You thought it was like a snuff film or something?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what my brain was thinking.
You're
It
like,
wasn't
no, I
thinking.
can't watch this, man. I just can't. I mean, I can't read this.
Yeah.
That's how you felt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I felt. I was just like, no, I'll be a bad kid if I read this. And I don't know why. I used to be like really on that morality level. I had a huge fear of dying when I was in second grade.
Wow. You know what you need for that?
What?
Psychedelics. This video is sponsored by psychedelics. No, we're not promoting the use of any illegal substances. I shouldn't have said that because now we're gonna. If anybody listens to this, we're gonna
We
get
might
shit.
get 2 cents.
Literally, if 2 people watch this, you and me, we're still gonna get shit from one of us.
Absolutely. So yeah, I had a huge fear of dying in second grade. I remember clearly. I don't know what it was, but I had a really bad day. I don't know how I could have a bad day. I'm in second grade.
Oh my god, you were in second grade.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had a
That
bad day,
happens.
and I came home, and for like 2 hours, I was crying because I didn't want to die, and
Aw.
I don't know why, but I was in second grade. Like, why did
But I get that. I feel like a lot of kids have that.
Yeah, I think
I've
it was-
noticed. I've noticed it with other kids before though.
Really, I think that's really weird to me. It's just like, what? Besides that, it's like, how do you even think?
No,
of
because
dying?
kids can understand the concept of death. What? Did I interrupt you?
No.
Oh.
I was just thinking of something.
Why? Okay, Carly just. I forget that they can't see you,
Yeah.
so he just randomly smiled at me, and it really freaked me out. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
So we were on
death.
death. Yes.
Yeah. Kids think about death though.
I think my biggest fear besides dying was actually, am I ever gonna accomplish anything?
Oof, that's a big one.
I used to believe,
That's a big one.
bro, teachers would not stop saying I was an Einstein, right? And like that's not to brag or anything, because like teachers are just really nice. I've had
Right.
some really
Not
nice
just that,
teachers.
but you are a smart kid. Like you're above average. I mean, even though you probably don't want to admit to that. Like I don't want to admit to the fact that like I'm pretty
You're
good
good
at
at
music.
singing.
I'm pretty good at music. I was gonna say music.
Singing.
I don't like my own voice. That's a different story. But I'm pretty good at music. I understand the theory well and whatnot, and I can perform it well. But in the same way, you can kind of you can see that like you're a smart guy.
I guess it happens. Yeah.
I guess it happens, but yeah. What were you gonna say? Continue after that, like the fact that you feel like you're
Oh,
not gonna
okay.
accomplish
Yeah.
anything.
So I've always, every kid dreams of being a person that's known, right?
Yeah,
And it's just like I think my fear was, am I gonna die and just like it doesn't mean anything? Cause
and you didn't like accomplish anything to the point where someone's gonna remember you.
exactly.
Like the
'Cause,
fact that we can
yeah,
remember certain people that
yeah,
are already gone, but
mhm,
they'll probably be remembered for almost forever.
yeah, exactly. I don't know why I had this big fear as a second grade. Like I had a huge need for accomplishment and success. Like it was bad. Like if I ever failed,
That is not healthy to
if I
have.
ever did bad on a test, it was over. I don't think I would ever be so sad.
Wow.
I remember in 5th grade, we got back like a math test, and I think I got like an 82. And apparently, you remember our teacher, our 5th grade teacher,
Mhm.
Mrs. L. So
Mhm.
she said I looked.
It's a good thing you didn't say the name. Thank you.
um
Continue.
I got a brain cell.
Did you just forget what you're talking about just because I butted in a little bit?
Mrs. L.
Mrs. L.
On that
what
math
happened?
test, she said
Yeah.
I looked noticeably sad.
Who? You looked noticeably
I
sad?
looked noticeably
She
sad.
said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She wrote that on my test or something like
Oh.
that. Yeah. Oh no! It was on my report card,
Oh, when
I
that
remember
happened,
yeah,
she wrote
and
like he looked noticeably sad.
and it was just like it was a 5th grade test. Like I don't know what I was thinking. Like, what's gonna happen if I fail a 5th grade test?
I understand that. Let me tell you why. I had a similar story, but for me it was like, okay, back in 4th grade, right? Um, I had an exam of some sort. It was a multiplication test, and I just didn't know my multiplication tables and stuff like that. I didn't know what to do. Like, I just didn't understand multiplication. Couldn't for some reason. But it was 4th grade, right? So like, obviously I was gonna get it eventually, but I didn't understand that, and it made me feel like I was different. That was the biggest thing. Like not feeling like I belonged was like a big fear of mine when I was a kid.
Oh,
I was
if you
taking that
didn't know, by the
exam.
way, he went to school in Bangladesh.
Who?
You
In 4th grade?
was it 4th grade?
No.
Really? I thought you came. Oh, you
Before
knew
3rd
people.
grade.
You knew people in 3rd grade.
Before I was here since 3rd grade.
I feel like I
In the
remember this.
States.
Who came in 4th? Was it Beep? Who came in 4th
Yes.
grade?
He came from.
Beep.
Oh shit. I'll bleep that out. I'll bleep that out in post.
Can we bleep? We should probably bleep out his name.
Let's bleep it out right now.
Beep.
I'm gonna edit that over what I just said.
But is it gonna be like one long beep, or is it gonna be beep beep beep?
It's gonna be just a bunch of so you can't even make out what's being said.
You just overlaid between that and just someone, those guys who just read off the side effects of just drugs. Do they
I
speak
never
fast?
finished my story. I just realized.
But like, hold up. Do
Okay,
they
sorry.
speak that fast, or do they speed it up in editing?
It's a little of both.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really fast speakers naturally, but yeah, they edit it as well. Back in the day, it was mostly fast speaking because they didn't edit much. It was just, it was more practical stuff.
Have you
Back in the day.
seen the fastest guy in the world at reading?
Yeah, I have.
That's wild, man.
I know, but it's like at the same time, it feels just kind of weird and pointless.
It's
I
actually
just find it boring.
impressive. I think it's impressive
That's fair.
because the guy can pronounce each word so
Right,
well.
right.
And
Like he clearly enunciates it, so you can actually. That's pretty cool. Like
how
the
do
fact that you can like slow down the video and still
Yeah.
hear what he's saying, and it's not just like mumbled.
Like, how do you even do that? Like, I couldn't even begin to understand how you would go about doing.
You have to be very good at enunciating your words, and that's a big like singing thing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need to be able to enunciate your words really clearly,
Right.
like to the point where it's not stylized at all. It's just how like you're speaking very purely, and then you have to like kind of stylize from there.
Right.
Anyway, my story that I was saying, I was taking a multiplication test and I
Yeah.
just couldn't do it, and everybody else was getting normal grades, right? They were
Right.
fine, and so for me, that made me feel like it's like something was wrong with me, and that's what kind of really snapped in my head, and like it really got to me, and I started like freaking out then, and I started like crying.
Right.
So yeah, I exactly know what you're talking about by
Mhm.
that, because that was a fear of mine
Right.
then. And like everybody, I remember everybody's like, "What's like, you good?" Like in fourth grade. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
because I was crying, and I was the only one who got a low grade, so it made me feel so different that like I don't know, something in my like mind kind of clicked, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't feel normal.
Mm.
I feel like I don't belong, and blah blah blah, and like that kind of just freaked me out.
I think that's an interesting feeling. I used to, when I was little, I used to get sad if I did bad on a test because I was mostly just afraid of what my parents would say or something like that.
Mm.
So I never really cared for what I was doing when I was little. So that's interesting that you cared about what you were doing, because for me it was
Yeah, yeah.
always, I forgot what it was, like punishment 1 versus punishment 2 we learned in psych,
Right.
and one of them is, I think, the negation of pain, or the loss of something really good. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, so
okay,
you know how
okay.
you introduce, like, if I hit someone, that's a different kind of punishment than taking away their Game Boy.
Of course.
That
Karthi says from personal experience.
from we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later.
So what was I going?
You're talking about negation of pain and
Yeah, for
1 and
what?
2.
I remember that part, but what were we talking about before that?
Because you're talking about how like you didn't want to do bad because your parents,
Right.
and I didn't want to do bad because I actually like cared about what,
Right.
well, how I don't know. You were explaining that part.
Yeah. So how you felt about yourself in the class, and it was just
Right.
like, that's
Right.
a pretty good way to think for a kid, because like besides grades and stuff, like your mentality of how you approach grades and what they actually mean is, it's really important.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, definitely. Oh, of course.
Because, like, again, with the punishment 1 versus punishment 2, I think there was a difference in its effectiveness. Because if you no longer have the person hitting you, will you still act the same?
Right. But then, in the same way, if you no longer have the person taking the stuff away, will you act the same?
Yeah, maybe, I don't remember what it is, but like, how do you get a kid to understand that it's for
Like
them?
something is not
Yeah,
what you should do.
yeah,
So you're talking about how to negate or not negate, like how to teach a child, hey, you're not supposed to do this,
yeah,
or you are supposed to do this.
yeah,
Hmm. And the punishment is tough because of the reason we just said.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I
a
think
very.
I think kids are dumb.
I mean, they are. That's kind of the whole point of being a kid, is being dumb, because your brain isn't developed yet. That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, I guess, but like,
Like saying kids are dumb is literally just factual. No, it really is though, because their brains aren't as developed. They're going to be dumb because of science, because of biology. They just have to.
this is true. Oh, we were going about my Game Boy story.
You want to tell them your Game Boy story?
Oh, okay. It's not too
It's
bad.
it's not that big of a story. It's literally
So back in the third grade, you know, the good old days, where classes weren't curved, I got like a 77 on a math test. I've never disappointed my
77.
parents as much as that 76 on the math test. 'Cause
77 or 76.
I think it was a 76.
Okay, because you changed it halfway.
Did I?
I think so. I think you said
I
77.
was. I think I went like 76 because I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, I had done really bad on this math test, and the year before I had gotten a Game Boy, right? And let me tell you, I got this Spider-Man game on it. I think it was Spider-Man 3.
On the Game Boy, they had Spider-Man 3 on Game Boy.
Yo, you're right. Like,
That's crazy.
I
Oh
don't
shit! Speaking of, I'm gonna call a pause to the podcast to show Karthi this.
Oh God, that's so good. Yes.
I just showed him my dick. Nah, I showed him a game that honestly I kind of want to play on the channel.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to tell them what it is yet, so because of that. But
yeah.
would you be down?
Is it? Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, you're gonna whoop my ass.
Oh, yeah, I
but,
know.
But
Like I
dude,
always do.
is it? Oh.
We're also gonna play some Mortal Kombat later. Is that cool?
We're playing more.
Hell yeah, we're playing Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
After
bro.
this podcast, we're gonna go play some Mortal Kombat. That's not gonna be recorded because we don't have a capture card yet. Why am I so close to the mic?
Bro, capture card?
Yeah.
Why can't you just? Oh, we.
Why can't we just film the screen
I
like
was just about to say-
2008?
Shout out to our old.
Shout out to 2008 Siam and Karthi.
Oh my gosh, concerning that, you remember when you said we made a bunch of videos? Is there?
Can you grab me that for a second? Sorry, I keep interrupting this. Anyway, so yeah, continue. What were you saying? You remember how we had old videos?
Oh, old videos. Did you remember any of the things we did besides the?
So
apparent-
okay,
yeah.
I remember I had a bunch of videos where I'd like do things in reverse
Or-
because I had a video editor
Mhm.
and I was like, oh shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever had. Okay, so let's give him some context.
Mhm.
Karthi and I, we used to have, it was my channel and we used to upload videos onto it back when we were like 10 or 11, maybe
Yeah.
12, right?
Yeah.
We're like kids and we did super cringy, stupid shit, right? Because that's what kids do. And speaking of, I want to talk about that later too. But
Okay.
we did some cringy, stupid shit like kids do. And we uploaded them onto YouTube. And for example, we made a video where we recorded the TV, right? I'm talking, we took a camera, like an old school. It's not even HD. It's an SD camera,
Oh
a
yeah.
standard definition camera. I don't even know why they like all cameras that I know of are like HD, right?
Right.
That's an SD camera. I don't even know that. I want to use it for like some maybe filming old school shit, like make
Oh,
it
yeah?
look kind of grainy and shit.
Right,
but
right. We
It's
should
still pretty
definitely-
nasty.
We should invest in like old time consoles and play some old time games.
I'd be down, but it's tough to record that when you can just get an emulator and then record that.
We can't talk about emulators.
Oh shit! I mean, yeah. Let's just do that.
Yeah,
Let's
that's-
purchase those very expensive consoles and then play those games.
Yeah, I mean,
Wink,
cause,
wink.
Cause I've never played any of those old games.
Which ones?
Like any of them, cause I've never played an
Oh,
a
really?
NES or a SNES.
You never played on an NES or SNES
Nope.
or anything? Shit. Well, we used to record. We recorded the TV and played games on it, and then put them on YouTube. Like we played Call of Duty and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Oh yeah, I remember playing the Black Ops 1 Zombies on
Yep,
Kino.
yep.
Kino.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I remember my first line in that was something like, "Hey guys, this is Siam and this is Karthi, and we're gonna show you guys how to play Black Ops Zombies." Kino
as if nobody knows but us.
You gotta understand, like, this was like 3 years after the game came out. Like, you couldn't find online matches anymore because no one was playing it.
Oh my
And-
god.
And
As if after 3 years nobody knows how to play the game, so we're gonna show them.
it went past all the phases. We just went straight to.
We just went for it. Dude. We went for it.
And surprisingly, you know what? Shout out to the Black Ops community because 100 people watched that video.
Yes.
So
yes.
I don't.
That is
I don't
true.
know, man. They're a great community. They really search for the unknown.
They go above and beyond. Honestly.
So we're grateful for that. We really thought it was shooting off. By the way, we were like, bruh, when are we making this next video and what game are we gonna play?
Right, because we were like, dude, we're making it big.
Well,
We're making
yeah.
it big.
Bruh, imagine making it big of playing your own video games. I mean, playing video games.
Oh yeah.
But
That's like hitting the lottery in a way.
But like, is it? Because from an outside perspective, if you don't think about it, it's like good. But then you think about it, and it's like
People are gonna watch video games nonetheless, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to say?
no. I'm trying to say, like, is that really something you want to do? Is it?
Is it something I want to do?
Yeah.
I'm not entire. I mean, what do you wait? Like,
Too
do I
much of
want to
it-
make money off of playing video games?
Yeah, but that was the only way you made money. It's not like a side thing. Like that's your.
Okay, that's a different thing.
Cause like,
I'd love to make money. No, I wouldn't want that to be my main thing.
no, because it's like it no longer becomes fun, right? Like
Right.
I'm not hating on the big YouTubers because like I understand like that's their
Income.
That's their income. Like you gotta have some stable income, so you're gonna structurize your channel. Like and also structurizing your channel makes sense. Like it just makes everything a bit easier. But like, imagine like being forced to come up with content. Like,
No, that would suck. Yeah, that would 100% suck.
that's just stressful too.
Mhm.
Like, I can only imagine. Like, and you know, like, good for them because like they still come out with like good content. Like, I still watch them and everything.
Definitely, yeah.
So they're able to do that creatively, make it structured. I wish, God bless them, but I don't want it. I don't.
Yeah, I get
'Cause
that.
I like my fun to be fun. I don't want it.
I like my fun to be fun. That's fair. That's fair. Um, I'm gonna edit this part out starting, and we're back.
That was a really good snap.
Thanks. I'm pretty good. Damn it! I didn't want to like, cause I'm probably gonna check this and see in the okay. When you snap on a waveform, it's like a really large spike. So when I'm editing this, I'm gonna think, oh, I gotta probably edit that snap part out because snaps are just naturally very loud and they're very high frequency and they're just obnoxious.
Right.
And I just did it 4 times now and probably gonna have to edit on those. I'm just making work. I'm just making it more work for me.
Right. You know what?
Boy.
I never finished my Game Boy story, so quick.
Oh
quick,
shit!
Yeah.
Did
So
you seriously? Oh,
yeah.
keep
So
going.
I got the 77 on the math test. I had the Game Boy, and my parents thought I was playing my Game Boy too much because up until that point I never had a game system or anything. So that Game Boy was my first thing in 2nd grade. Everyone had like a PS2 or something like that, and I had a Game Boy. But anyway, I used to play it so much, so my parents got to thinking that it was because of that I had gotten the bad grade, and they took it away. And like usually they tell you, "Oh, we're taking away your Game Boy." No, my parents were next level. They were like, "Yes."
Okay, you're getting mad close to the mic.
Yes.
Ah.
So, they decided to say they threw it away. So I, being this small one brain-celled child, decided yes, my parents threw away the $100 game system they got me, and for 1 year I had believed that.
Oh my
And then
god.
I finally got my grades up, and they were like, "Oh, you're doing very good. We're going to tell you now.
We're going to what now?
We're going to tell you now." Because I went to a Barnes and Noble, and I saw some kid playing a Game Boy, and I was like, "It's pretty cool." I remember when I played my Game Boy.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "Oh, by the way, we still have your Game Boy." And let me tell you, that fucking car ride back home, I've never felt so happy and so sad at the same time.
Oh my, yeah, I can imagine.
I went home, I finally got my Game Boy, I binged the shit out of Spider-Man and finally beat it that night. But my dad came home, and he had not agreed upon this at this point. And he came in and saw me playing the Game Boy, and that was an interesting conversation. I remember him being really confused and angry that I had my Game Boy. And I didn't understand because I had just beaten Spider-Man, so I was like...
You were probably just on so much adrenaline. So
Yeah,
you're just hopping off of endorphins. You're like, Spider-Man.
Bro, like, Sandman, that level for anyone. The Sandman level was such a pain. Chasing after him, a pain in the ass. Garbage.
Jeez. I remember when I had... Wait, so why was your dad confused, though? That was,
Because he never agreed to this. So
Oh,
he
okay.
Yeah, so he was just confused seeing me with that. It's just like, did he find it? Because I don't think he deserves it.
I remember I had the OG Spider-Man for the OG Xbox.
Okay.
Spider-Man 1, the movie game,
Mm-hmm.
for the original Xbox. And that game was so much fun.
Okay.
You could play as, like, Peter Parker
Really?
at one point. I remember, yeah. And then I remember I got up to, like, you could play as when you're the wrestler Spider-Man. When you're fighting Bonesaw. Yeah. Good times.
Do you... I don't remember what it was called. I think it was Spider-Man Friend or Foe.
Oh, I hated Friend or Foe. I mean, that was very baby. Friend or Foe was like a childish, like a baby game.
What was Friend or Foe again? Because I might be
It
getting
was
that
like,
wrong.
you remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance? It was like you have like a party of people in your team, and then you can like walk around. It's like a...
Oh, okay, not Friend or Foe then.
Not Web of Shadows. What was the game like?
Okay, so it's like my favorite part of this was it was a co-op, so you could play with someone, and it was
So it was Friend or Foe. Friend or Foe is a beat 'em up.
with 2 other. It was just a co-op.
Oh, it was just a co-op. Oh, it may have just been a co-op. I thought it was like 4 characters, but I don't remember.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Friend or foe? It was like a baby game. I felt like I don't know.
I,
You liked it? I gotta sneeze.
Pineapple, 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 pineapple.
I hate you.
So we have this thing with my squad. We're always like,
Don't call them your squad. This is gay.
all right, Dax, right? So my Dax.
What do you just say? Your friends. They're your friends.
I don't have friends. I think my mom has more friends than me on Facebook, to be honest. By the way, like
I don't doubt it.
yeah, my mom's pretty fire though. Like, she
That's
had a,
weird. Don't say that. Oh, as in like she has a lot of friends.
yes.
Oh God, we're gonna. Yeah.
We take entire creativity from like
From Super Mega.
yeah.
Pretty much. We're Super Mega copies.
Yeah.
We're like donkey copies, but we're not
Donkey,
donkey
yeah,
copies.
exactly. What was it? I sent you a Mr. Meatman video.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I think it was a JoJo's video where he just
Okay.
yeah, and he just goes through the power leveling in it and just says how garbage it is. It's a pretty funny video, but like 2 seconds
Yo,
in,
there's this. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
2 seconds in, you're like, this sounds like Donkey. You look at the name, Mr. Meatman.
Oh,
This isn't Donkey.
this is Donkey.
I refuse. This is Donkey's secret third channel.
Probably. I need to watch that then. I didn't know you sent it to me.
I did. We made fun of it. You said, don't send me this cancer.
Oh yes, you're right. You are right. I was like, what the fuck did you just send me?
We were talking about death.
Oh, we along like at the start of this, yeah, we were talking about death. What, you want to
Right.
talk about death again?
Yeah, sure.
Why you want to be so dark for?
What's death backwards?
Hatade.
Hatade.
Hatade. It's Hatade.
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 So let's talk about Hatade.
What? What did you just say?
Well, you said it's bad.
No, you know what I want to talk about?
Ashanti?
No. Black Mirror.
Yes.
Black Mirror.
Oh my god.
If any of you out there have not seen Black Mirror, it is my current favorite show of all time, and it's amazing. It's a futuristic dystopian anthology series that specifically talks about technology and socioeconomic, not socioeconomic, just social behavior.
yeah,
and
social behavior.
how technology is going to affect it in the future, and it's just amazing. It's one of my favorite shows. Like, it's I think my number one favorite show right now, and I'm obsessed with it. And apparently there's how many seasons out for it? 4 seasons?
4 seasons.
There's 4 seasons out currently for it. They're all pretty good. There's some episodes that are but they made a thing, I don't know if it was on Twitter or where, they said something about how their new season, one of their episodes in the new season is going to be audience based. As in,
yeah, you told
we're
me.
going to be able to interact with the show. Now, how is that going to work is my main question.
It's probably like a live audience thing.
No. They said people watching it will be able to interact. As
Maybe.
in, like, us, the fans watching the show when it comes out, will be able to interact.
I mean, you could always make like an episode I could think of where you just have multiple endings.
Text in A to 11312
It's like watching
to choose
yeah.
your answer.
It's like watching a VHS of that episode and you start typing it in. It's like, bro, that was like 3 years ago.
Like 3 years ago. Oh my god. No, I'm serious. Like, I'm really confused as to how they're gonna do this.
I mean, it could be like an alternate ending thing, right? So it's not like it's interactive in the sense that it's live interaction, right? It's just pre-recorded stuff. So you could say 1 or 2, and those could be different scenarios, and you get different endings depending on what you choose.
That's fair. So kind of like a Death in the Family type thing, like the comic Death in the Family. So in the comic Death in the Family, Joker. So there's a Joker and Robin,
Right.
and they're like, there's some kind of conflict there and blah blah blah. I don't want to get into details about Death of the Family. The ending of it is what's important, because at the end they were like, hey, call in this phone line if you want the Joker to die, and call in this phone line if you want Robin to die. At the end of
Really?
this. Yeah. And so then everybody was like, no, we don't want Joker to die because he's like the best villain. So they killed off Robin, and that's when Robin, the Jason Todd It was the Jason Todd version. Yeah, the Jason Todd version of Robin died in that book.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yo, so you know how the McNuggets are like $5?
You
Or
told me. Oh, Burger King, right?
Burger King, try and tell me they aren't using some kind of unsolicited labor.
What's up with you and these slave nuggets?
They're,
That sounds weird when I say that out loud. But what's up with you and slave nuggets?
10 cents a nugget. Tell me if that's legal.
It shouldn't be.
It
10 cents a nugget.
And they're not bad. I downed them. I downed them. I had
You had them recently?
yeah, I
They're
had
good?
them. Yeah, when I was staying over, I had like 20 and like a large onion rings. Like I was starving after my test.
Bro. That's pretty good.
Bro, can we talk about late night exams?
No, we can't because I don't have them.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's like a Stony thing, though.
Is it really?
It is. Because I
That's-
remember when my sister used to go to Stony,
Mm.
every time she had a test, we had to drive all the way out there at like 7 p.m.
7 p.m., bro. My test starts at 8:45. It-
Jeez.
My test started at 8:45. They finish at 10:15.
Yeah.
And like I understand why they're doing it because they want everyone to take the test. So, and there's not enough days, especially for the sciences, to finish all the materials. So they can't take a day off in class to take the test. So
That's crazy how much material you must have that you can't take one day off just for an examination. How insane is that?
it's every day we're
That's
learning.
so much material.
It's wild.
And to think that humans have to take this and just keep it in their brain.
Yeah.
All that information.
But why? It's just like, what's the end goal? So I was actually writing a philosophy assignment, right? It was just
Mhm.
talking about we're talking about the groundworks for the metaphysics of morals.
Okay.
Grounding for the metaphysics of morals is I guess like an book written by Immanuel Kant,
Okay.
and he's this philosopher he was talking about
Morality?
morality, but something specific. Oh, happiness. What is the true
Hap-
end of humanity? And he was talking about yeah. So like, what is the end goal? And in most philosophers that we had read before, mind you,
Mhm.
that's only like 5 philosophers.
Okay.
Everyone assumes that happiness is the end
End goal of
goal,
humanity.
right? Preservation, happiness, and such.
Okay.
But his argument is that every human is given certain qualities, right? Something they
Mhm.
need to survive or reach the end goal of life
Right. Right.
by nature, right? It just makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Mhm.
Like we evolved to have the happiest, or whatever the goal is, right? To achieve the goal.
Yeah.
So it seems like we would evolve to achieve humanity's or life's goal. So his point is that everyone has some kind of faculty or means of achieving this goal given to us by nature.
Okay.
So most people, he says, assumes that happiness is the goal. But we're creatures of reason, right? We have the capacity for reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that means reason is something given to us by nature. And using reason, we can't reach happiness. Like think about someone who goes only based off instinct versus someone who goes based off reason. Someone who lives on instinct alone is probably going to be happier than someone who has reason. So if we're given reason, that can't mean that that means that happiness can't be the end goal, because it contradicts this tool that we have and the goal. So he's like, happiness can't be the goal. So what is the goal? And he
What
goes
is
on
the
to talk
goal?
about like duty, and it's just like moral duty is doing what is right, not because you care about it or you have any feelings. You do it because you want to do it. Or it's
Okay,
the right
but
thing
I
to
have
do.
my argument with that is how do you decide what's right?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
What's morality?
I'm taking the whole class on moral reasoning.
So let's talk more about that. I want to talk more about that.
Do you? Because like that class is, I don't think I've ever felt dumber than taking a philosophy class.
Why is that?
Because for me, reading is supposed to be the only way I understand things, right?
Yes.
So like when I read philosophy, it takes me like 4 times reading a paragraph or just like anything to actually understand what's happening.
And you said philosophy has never made you feel dumber, or you've
Any
never
class.
felt dumber
Then in a
in
philosophy
than in
class.
philosophy. Wow. I might have to take a philosophy class now. I want to I want to
It's
try
definitely
it.
interesting though.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to try it just cuz like yeah, it seems really interesting.
Hmm. So, morality. What were people? I mean, so a lot of people think that, like, I think it was Aristotle, in his Namekian,
Aristotelian.
yeah, his
Yeah, yeah.
Namekian ethics book.
Mhm.
You've heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and in my my culture whatever thing, we talked about it.
I was like,
Culture. It's like
in your
culture.
culture, I was
Not
like,
in my culture. It was
I
my
was like,
culture class.
the age-old known story in the Bengali traditions.
No, no, no. I'm talking about like in my
Class,
humanities.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We talked about a lot of uh Socratic, Platonic, Aristotelian stuff. What?
Something that was humming stopped humming.
Something? Did you say something that was humming stopped humming? Is that a metaphorical thing?
No, I feel like
It sounds like a metaphor.
it sounds like
That sounds like a poem. Something
like
that was humming is not
is
humming.
it-
Sorry, I recently watched The Kindergarten Teacher. Have you seen that movie?
no.
It won a
Oh,
bunch of awards. It was really creepy.
uh,
It
no.
was it was just really fucking creepy. It made me uncomfortable. If anyone's seen The Kindergarten Teacher, I mean it's a great movie. Phenomenal movie. Won a bunch of awards. I loved it. But it was still pretty kind of it's pretty still pretty creepy. I mean, it's
Why?
about a kindergarten teacher who finds this kid and the kid is like a savant pretty much.
Okay.
He just thinks of poetry randomly and starts
What?
saying it, you know?
Mhm.
Like things he experiences, he just kind of talks about and it becomes poetry
Okay.
the way he uses his metaphors and his language. And so she starts kind of like getting obsessed with this kid like, oh, we need to write down his poetry because she's a poet, a failing poet.
Okay.
So she was like, I need to write down this poetry, I need to write down his stuff, and I'm like, spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the movie, please go out and watch it. It's on Netflix, so it's super easy to get. I mean, everybody has Netflix at this point. It's kind of taking over all of
And
our
I have your
brains.
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot you have my Netflix.
Yes,
Are you
I
gonna
do.
pay me for that or not?
I can pay you like how much do I owe you? It's been like 5 years.
How much do you owe me?
5 years.
Oh, for Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to owe me that. Just start paying me now. I'd
Okay.
like some. I'd like a small little tip.
All right.
Now to that.
I'll pay you
Pause.
at the end.
I said like a small little tip now and again. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna continue my story. So, the kindergarten. It's not my story. I was telling the plot of kindergarten teacher. Um, this kid is like has a serious talent, and she keeps mooching off of him in a way and stealing his poetry
Okay.
to say at her poetry class.
Right.
And they're all like, "Holy shit, this is amazing poetry! You wrote this and whatnot. This is mad good." But then she starts getting kind of obsessive because she finds out he's from kind of like an abusive family. Like the family's not good. The
Right.
family's not good whatsoever
Right.
for the kid. And so she tries to like hide him away. And spoiler alert, it gets to a point where she pretty much kidnaps him.
That's no bueno.
And then he like calls the cops, like, "Hey, I've been kidnapped." It's
Okay.
it's a crazy movie. That was a spoiler. I said spoilers ahead, so you could have not heard it. So,
But what about those people who skip every 10 seconds while watching a video?
oh, if you do that, then you should probably die. You should probably be held down and executed. Because I don't respect people who do that. I'm not even editing that. No, if you do that, you need to hear this. You need to wake up.
This is really awkward because that's what I do.
That's what you do that?
Yeah.
You skip just randomly
Yeah.
through a video.
Oh, it's not randomly. It's like when you get to the talk, like, you know, when you watch a TV show and it's like all the talking parts, it's not like, it's,
Are you serious?
like, especially if it's like like gooey stuff. It's like, this isn't entertaining. Like, I don't really care about your relationship, your fictitious relationship in a TV show.
No, it's all a part of. It's all storytelling though.
But like,
It's
it
all
doesn't.
story. It makes it more immersive. It's all about how the characters act with each other, even though it's.
Maybe it's not
shows
immersive to me
character-
because
Wow.
I haven't experienced that.
What, human interaction?
Yes.
I'm not surprised. No, I love directing and like movies like studying movies. I'm very, very, what's the word?
Hipster.
Yeah. I was gonna say pretentious actually, but that works
Close
too.
enough.
Same thing. I'm mad pretentious. I mean, I made my own alcohol, so that should say something.
He made his own toothpick. Nope. Guitar pick.
What? He made his own toothpick.
Tell me
the
there isn't,
stupidest
and there's something more hipster than making your own toothpick.
I actually don't trust corporate toothpicks. I make my own toothpicks. They're organic and made out of straw.
Wait.
wait, hold on. I feel like I said words, but at the same time, I feel like I've said absolutely nothing.
Basically, you somehow managed to do both.
I somehow managed to
Say a lot, but
say a lot of
nothing.
words, but transfer no information. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh god.
I got a pack of glow sticks over here next to me.
Yo, why did glow sticks just stop working?
Why?
Yeah.
It's chemical illumination.
Okay, that makes sense. Why? Oh, well, I guess chemicals can expire.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Chemicals, I mean, all chemicals expire. It's their half-life.
Right,
You know?
right.
So any element is going to have their half-life, right? Or no, it's the radioactive
Decay.
decay of it.
Yeah.
So it's going to start losing its potential.
Luminescence, yeah. How do glowy things work? Like, why do they?
Why do they glow? It's a
Yeah.
chemical glow. A lot of items.
Well, what
okay.
does that mean? Like,
Oh, it's
physics-wise?
excited photons. So,
But-
okay, excited electrons, I believe. So
Right.
when you have two things that interact with each other in a way that makes some kind of luminescence,
Right.
like chemoluminescence or bioluminescence, which is literally just chemoluminescence in an organism.
Yeah.
But what the luminescence is when you have those two elements that interact, they can get agitated,
Okay.
and agitation can create two things:
Mhm.
heat and or light.
Okay.
And how it does that is the electrons will interact in a way, or the protons or something will interact in a way where they give off energy,
Okay.
and that energy is either going to be friction or
Okay.
photons.
Oh, photons.
Photons.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So,
Because electrons can give off photons. Like, for example, if you have something that's really, really hot, what is
Really?
it? It's electrons that are rubbing together so hard because you're getting it really hot.
Mhm.
The electrons are rubbing together really, really, really hard, creating friction, and it glows red. So, for example, when you have engines
okay.
that you're
Right.
pumping hot stuff in,
Yeah.
the metals will glow red because the electrons in that metal
Mhm.
are being heated up to the point where they're releasing photons.
Okay.
Anything that glows red is literally releasing photons.
That's really. How do you just make photons?
It's a transfer of energy. So you're not really making it because remember, matter can't be created or
Right.
destroyed. So it's just a transfer of that heat energy, dissipating the heat energy and turning it into light energy.
I don't know, fam.
That seems like it's wrong. That seems like it doesn't make sense. Wait, I know what you're trying. I know what you're getting at now. What? Hold on.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You
But
don't
like, I
understand
mean,
why that would work.
yeah, because aren't you now destroying energy and creating matter?
Photons aren't matter. Photon is energy.
A light ball of energy. So there's no structure to it.
Photons have, like, okay. So
So
is
what
it infinite? Yeah. So when you go up to a certain point of energy, like
Mhm.
photons are like almost infinite energy or something like that. So I don't know about infinite energy, but like it's like something about photons is like if you want to create a photon, you need an infinite amount of mass or something like that.
Isn't it infinite amount of energy because you have infinite amount of mass in such a small? No. It's going so fast.
Right. It's going
Yeah.
so fast, and you
Right.
need to
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
what-
exactly what like I remember because I remember learning this
Right.
and I've forgotten almost all of it.
Well, I know one thing about energy is it would take like 99.9% of the energy in the entire universe, for if a photon had mass to go that fast
yes,
or something like that.
right.
Or I think it was like we can make, oh okay. The thing was you can make a molecule go like some kind of molecule, any molecule that we can create or
Yeah.
get, we can get it to 99% the speed of light. But to go with that extra 1% would take all of the energy in the universe,
What? Yeah.
or even
That's
more
crazy.
than that. So it's just wild.
But originally, what was it? Chemoluminescence? That's what you were like
Yeah.
confused about. You know what? Why don't you entertain him? I'm gonna look it up.
All right, so back to my podcast.
Back to my hold up. This is a joint function. I'm just looking
No,
something up.
my podcast within the podcast.
Oh, you have a separate.
Yeah, I have a separate podcast.
Well, then proceed.
All right, so welcome to my podcast. Where we were last time we were on this podcast, we were talking about pickup lines. So I gave you all the great life alert pickup line. What was my next one? My next one was the classic, "Hey girl, are you a magician? Because every time I look at you, everyone around us disappears." So, make her feel a little special, make her feel like a magician. Maybe you can make her feel like a magician girl, But yeah, she thought it was cute. But that was rookie level. So
All right, so I'm back. How's that? Was that good?
I get it. I feel like every time my podcast comes on, it's like episode number 3, pickup line number 3.
Okay, please do that. I guess luminescence is spontaneous emission of light by a substance not resulting from heat.
Spontaneous.
Um.
Spontaneous what? Production of light. So
Yeah,
what is that?
it can be caused by chemical reactions, electrical energy, subatomic motions, or stress on a
What
crystal.
is energy?
Huh?
What is energy?
What do you mean by energy? What is energy? You know what? Energy is energy.
Energy is energy?
Yeah.
It self-defines itself?
No.
So, like God?
Yes.
Is God energy? God is
might be
energy.
Please, let's not get religious on this. We'll get religious on our 6th episode. Specifically that one.
What if energy is just something in another dimension and we just can't understand energy because it exists in some other
That's
state?
an interesting point. Maybe. It's possible.
I don't know.
But for example, you know what luminol is?
That sounds familiar. What is it?
Luminol? It's like it's the spray, right?
I don't know if you've noticed, but my
Yeah.
voice has changed inflections many times through this podcast, and I'm slowly noticing. I think it's because I'm hearing.
Because you're hearing yourself talk.
I'm hearing myself
That's
talk.
why I kind of take it off to like recalibrate my own voice. Because then now I
Right.
can hear my voice how I'm supposed, like how I always hear it.
Right.
So now I know how to talk.
Yeah. Why is that?
Why is that? It's because you're.
Right. Because your voice wants to stay the same, so it's like, oh boy, we're just sounding different.
Start focusing on your inflection.
Yeah. Why is your brain so stupid though? Like.
Oh, that's such an interesting point. Like, why are there so many fallacies in the human mind?
Right. It's just like I
so many fallacies.
like I can logic it out. I can use logic to figure it out. But like, why doesn't my brain respond? Like, it sounds like a stupid question. Like, I'm using my brain to use logic to figure it out. But
Right.
my brain is also wrong about the same thing. It doesn't make sense.
It seems very.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's
But
very.
I mean, and at the same time, it makes sense because
oxymoronic.
just think about it. Like, if we used reason and our sensors were based on reason, like, you know how slow that would be? That would be such a slow response.
True.
So even though in the long term we might get a better answer and more accurate, maybe we don't want to use it. We want to use instinct, for example, because it's like quick. So it gives you what you need, and even though it may be wrong, most of the time it'll be right.
Yeah, I get that. So, okay, my thing, I was talking about luminescence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Luminol. You know what luminol is? It's like what they use at crime scenes.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, you spray it and it's
Yeah.
an oxidizing agent. So,
Yeah.
like, it'll hit blood and it'll
Mhm.
glow.
Mm-hmm.
So, luminol reacts with hydrogen peroxide
Okay.
to create that luminescence. There's a fluorescence in it because it's a low energy level that's created or some shit. That's what it's saying here.
Low energy level? Oh, okay.
I don't know. It says,
because when you
it's
go
a
from high to
vibronic
low.
excited state fluorescing as it decays to a lower energy level.
Because when you go from
High to low, you release
lose-
energy.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it. That's our podcast on chemoluminescence and bioluminescence. I love bioluminescence. I think it's a really cool trait in creatures and organisms.
Yeah, I remember in one of the summer camp labs that I went to.
Did you see kelp?
No.
Oh my
we
god,
used,
I
like,
want to see bioluminescent like what is it, kelp or plankton or something like that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like wash onto the shore. Have you seen those videos? Of
Yeah.
it? But yeah, you're at the thing.
And we made bioluminescent E. coli. Like,
That's disgusting.
it looks really cool because you can make different
But E.
things.
coli's nasty.
It's actually not. Like, you can drink that. No, I'm kidding.
Please stop.
But, like, I used to work with it so much for my
Mhm.
science fair experiments, so, it's not too bad, to be honest. But, anyway, you can, like, draw with it on the culture plates and make, like, cool designs and make them glow
Interesting.
different colors. But we only did
Interesting.
green, but it was pretty wild.
That is pretty cool. So apparently bioluminescent waves and like what is it, like the really the microorganisms that
Luminescent.
bioluminesce they're found in like San Diego. So look at this video. Y'all can probably hear it, but you see that it's like glowing waves,
That's pretty cool.
right? It's pretty sick. The waves are like glowing. Anyway, that was the first episode. I think we're gonna call it. I think we're gonna never make one of these again. No, I want to make more, but
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you guys now, we do have pre-prepared topic lists. I'm going to tell you, we looked at that list like twice,
and then just gave up.
and then we never finished one topic. So please let us know how we did in the comments. Like, comment, and kill yourself. Bye.
That's how you're gonna end. That's how you're gonna end.